Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Hitman 3. The game is available on PlayStation, Xbox, PC and Switch. Hitman 3 is an assassin simulation game developed by IO Interactive. It is the culmination of the World of Assassination trilogy and is now known as Hitman World of Assassination. The game features the base game locations and contracts from Hitman 1 and 2. So what is it like to play? Well, Hitman is a pretty simple game to sum up. You're a hitman, you get paid to kill people. Your contracts will take you to varied locations around the globe where you have to survey the area, infiltrate off-limit zones and take out your target with as little collateral damage as possible. Saying that, you can just go in guns blazing, but it does make things harder in the long run and your ranking will be affected. Most of the time you'll be walking around the gorgeous levels, listening into conversations, watching your target or security hotspots. The contracts themselves, to be honest, I found them a little underwhelming when compared to the previous two games. Despite the locations being absolutely gorgeous, I couldn't help but feel just uninterested by some of the early missions. Also, I think the story was quite poorly written. You know, it's pretty lackluster at stitching it all together.
If that's your winning face, I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Nah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
So Hitman 3, it adds several locations to the playlist. Like Dubai's the first one, stunning, lavish, set in the clouds. But sadly the mission itself was far too rigid and it made for a very underwhelming opening. There's Chongqing, which I think I've pronounced that correctly, which is a delightful neon lit surveillance state set like in these very sort of high buildings. That's really quite cool design. Berlin I thought was quite good. That brought back memories of the nightclub mission in Hitman Contracts. And I'd say the other levels were okay. They look great, they're intricate. I think it's just the missions, the main missions, some of them I found to be quite dull. One area the game really does struggle is the tired and cliched story. It felt a bit like sort of Blood Money or Absolution in that it was trying to turn what is essentially a game where you're just a paid hitman into some sort of overarching adventure game. You're a hitman, you kill for money, we're not the good guy. Oh, we only kill the bad guys. Well, kill yourself, Agent 47, because you're one of them too. Like, we don't have morals in the Hitman world. And it feels a little like it's just ripping off the new Bond films. Why are they trying to turn 47 into James Bond? I'm not really sure what that's all about, but story-wise, big thumbs down. Now the game comes with a whole bunch of legacy content with all the maps and base game missions from the first two Hitman games. Also, if you owned the DLCs for those, you'll find them here too. Although there wasn't a mission. For some reason I couldn't seem to find the Sarajevo 6 from the first Hitman game. Have they removed that? I don't know what that's about. But you know, it is nice to see the old maps featured and it lets you revisit classic missions, which, you know, are good if you want to do a bit of training. Now there's a new game mode that came a few months ago. It's called Freelancer. It's like a sort of rogue-like mode where you start with nothing and you've got to work your way through these progressively more challenging contracts. I'd say it's definitely one for hardcore fans and it allows you to store weapons, gadgets, get new outfits and upgrade your home. Sadly, I would say this mode suffers from one major problem. The locations and places that it's featured in, you've been to hundreds of times. And despite the variety of the contracts, which are quite good, the mode really needs some sort of procedural map creator to really fulfill its potential.
International crime syndicates have elevated their business into a booming global economy. Dark money, goods and services are crossing borders like never before.
Visually, Hitman 3 is by far the best of the trilogy. The lighting effects, character details and lavish game world are just delightful. You can really see the difference in particular when you visit the old locations like Sapienza, Paris for example. Everything has got a massive upgrade and it's really just beautiful. Sadly, the menu design, it's still this tired, ugly crap with fonts in some of it that you just cannot read because they're tiny, they're minute. What the fuck are you doing? Sort it out. 3 games and you haven't sorted the crap menus out. In terms of sound, very good soundtrack. Cutscenes though, really lack quality performances. Very stale, very like reading rather than acting, and I just found the whole storyline of this game like big yawn, big yawn. Okay, good and bad points. What's good? The legacy content is a great addition. Visually, it's stunning. Level design is wonderful. Creative freedom in terms of completing the contracts in your own way is still the best part of the experience. Bad points? The new contracts are pretty underwhelming. The story is very uninteresting and it just lacks anything to engage you. Freelancer mode fails to live up to the full potential and the menus are just ugly and lacking quality accessibility. Okay, verdict. If I was to take only the Hitman 3 missions, maps and the new freelancer mode, I'd probably say the game was good rather than great. The missions are quite tired and underwhelming, and it all felt a bit shoehorned in with this quite dull story. But when you factor in this game has so much legacy content, it really does make Hitman 3 or Hitman World of Assassinations a great value for money package. Yes, if you've played the first two games to death, it's very unlikely that you're going to revisit the old stuff, but featuring them, it's nice. Overall, it's a good game, and I enjoyed it in part, but it's far from the perfect tour de force that I've seen other reviewers gushing about. Okay, scoring. Well, I'm going to give it 2 scores. One purely for the Hitman 3 content and one for the full World of Assassination content. Okay, so if we're talking simply about Hitman 3, I would give that a 7 out of 10. Quite disappointing. Looks great, but under that kind of facade of beauty is a bit of a flat experience. Now, for the Hitman World of Assassination content, which is basically legacy content included, that's amazing because you're getting 3 games. I mean, the first game for me is still the best. The second one's not far off. This one's a bit of a drop-off, even though it's quite nice to look at, but it is a drop-off. World of Assassination, I'd give a 9 out of 10 because it's a fantastic package. But again, you know, I've played Hitman 1 and 2 a lot, so I don't really play them in this because I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and once you've done the levels a number of times, it's all a bit same old, same old. So yeah, it's alright, but it could have been better. Okay, that's the review. Thanks for watching. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Cheers.